Okay, this is N2PQJ, and I'm going to do a little video here showing some strategies for using your data that you get from Ham Radio Deluxe that you can use to get some better contacts, do some better contesting, just a couple strategies that I use. First of all, I just want to show you just a couple things here. The first would be on the right-hand side here. This is the tuning dial of the radio. And what I have is all of the bands I have put in here with the band limits for voice and for the extra band, extra class. So you can see here's 10 meters, here's 12 meters, here is 15, 17, 20, 40, and 80. So those are the bands that I use for voice, and again I have the parameters in there so that it's just within the extra portion of the voice part of the band. And so this tuner scale on the right here, this mirrors the spots that are also on the bottom here. Let me give you a little room here. So on the bottom here, these mirror, so you can see this KQ2M. That station, let me bring this up. Okay, here it is, K2QM right there. So what happens is when a spot is put up, this is all the details that are involved in the spot. But this on the right here is just a quick way. And when you click a spot, it will automatically change to that frequency on the radio. You see up top here 14, 184. So it's automatically changed over to my on my radio. What I do during a contest is I'll usually start at the at 10 meters, and I'll just do a quick pass. So I will start down here and just dial my radio and see what I can hear, and just do a quick pass, see if I hear anything, and just go up to, here's 15 meters. I'll do the same. I'll start again down here and see what I can hear, and just move my way through the bands pretty quickly just to see which bands are active and see what's going on by listening myself. After I make a few contacts, I try to look over here, and I'll give it, this is a pretty good example over here. What I'll do is I'll show you this. This was from last night. So right here, you can see this contact here. This is the heading, the compass heading of that station, from me. So, 283, 286, 281. So I started noticing a trend, and I use that information to my advantage. That trend could either be because of propagation, it could be because of my antenna. By the way, I use a Comet ground plane vertical. It's a CHA 250BX. It's an omnidirectional antenna. But you could see here that I was successful in getting 3 fairly quick contacts, heading out to the California way from my Long Island QTH. So with that information, I say, okay, so then we're in the 280 degree heading that I'm making some contacts in. So what I do is when I look on the spotter board, I also have the heading here of the spot, and I will just click through on the spots that, here I chose, say, between, about 260 to 290, we'll say. So I would just click anything that was in the 260, 290 range, and to see if I'm able to hear that station. And so pretty quickly you're kind of weeding out what you don't need to be checking out, and looking for stuff that maybe you might hear. Like this 250, I would give that a shot. This 290, they're all kind of in that area. And you can see that I made a bunch of quick contacts here going up California, Arizona, Texas. So it was, and I'll tell you, this was last night. It was on 20 meters, and the sound quality was fantastic. The audio, there was no noise. It was really nice. And the gray line here, which you can see, the gray line was moving across, and it was just about in like the Nevada area last evening, and that's when these stations started coming up. So this is just a tool that you could use. See the stations that you're making contacts with, look at the heading, see if there's any patterns there, and then grab those spots that are in that same general heading, and that will give you, for lack of a better analogy, you're fishing in a stocked pond. You're going to an area that's working for you. It's working for your station. It's working for the propagation for you. I'd also like to mention that when I'm making these contacts, another thing I like to use with the logbook, sometimes I feel like I'm spending too much time on one contact, trying to pull it out of the woodwork. What I'll do is I will click this start button just to make sure that I've begun the time that I started working on this call, because after 2 minutes it seems like 2 hours sometimes. So you're able to look and see, okay, how much time has actually gone by here in the second box, and so you can see you're really not spending as much time as you would think trying to work a station. And I can show you here. Again, in my previous video, I showed you guys that to do the sequential serial number up here. If you put it in brackets, it'll automatically populate to the next number, so you don't have to try to remember that. But let me just give you an idea of what it looks like. Here, I'll click this 272, give it a double click, and it will, that WW2DE, it'll bring that station up. I'll give that a quick look up and see. Remember, I choose all QSOs, and I choose exact to see if I've contacted that station before. You can actually tell in Ham Radio Deluxe here, this setting here lets you know if you've worked a station before, but sometimes that's not good because you may have worked them years ago, not necessarily yesterday. So like I see this, this station I've worked, but did I actually work that station, during this contest? You can see here I did. I worked it in 2020. I also worked them in 13. So I'll click through here, give a quick double click on anybody. Like say we were using that, 260 to 290 range, right? Let's see what else comes up here. So passing through these here. Again, if you just double click, it will automatically populate into this box here. You hit a quick look up, and you'll know right away, did I speak with this station prior? Here's a 320. So again, you can use the heading on previous successful QSOs during a contest, and then gauge the headings that are being spotted, and you'll be able to make some more successful contacts. Okay, this is Steve, N2PQJ. Happy contesting, and have a great day.